Are joining you live. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb along with meteorologist Melissa Nord. If you are looking for the People's Country Music Awards, we have moved those over to our sister station on WATL Channel 36. If you want to see those awards, they are there. We are on with you now because we are walking you through this very impactful event where we have a weather impact alert in effect for the rest of the night tonight and into tomorrow. And
often with landfalling hurricanes, they weaken a lot before they make it to us. But Chris, Helene is a different beast. It is moving so quickly that this thing is still going to be a Cat 2 hurricane in southern Georgia and still could bring high-end tropical storm, if not low-end hurricane gusts to parts of North Georgia as we go through the overnight tonight.
And here it is, Category 4 hurricane right now. This was upgraded a little bit earlier. We have max winds 130 miles an hour, moving to the north-northeast at 23. We still think we're going to have a landfall coming up pretty soon here in this Big Bend region of Florida. But Melissa, this is a storm that impacts more than just where we are going to have a landfall. This is very interesting. Melissa, I'll let you explain this for this wind speed history of this storm.
So this is like a graph, and it shows us Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, today. What were the winds doing? And that's what this line represents. You noticed yesterday it was just a tropical storm, then it became a hurricane yesterday morning, but it was really flat all day yesterday. And it wasn't until today that this thing took off. It went through we call rapid intensification, when the winds increase at least 35 miles per hour in a single 24-hour period. Helene has gone from Category 1 to Category 4 just today. Impressive. And it's still got a little bit more territory before that final landfall.
And that does meet that qualification for rapid intensification. And now the question is, could it reach up here to a Cat 5? We think we're running out of time for that to happen before it makes landfall. But with the warm water that we're dealing with and just with the crazy cycles that we have seen with some of these tropical systems, even though we don't think it would be a Cat 5, it's not totally out of the question. Right. Anything could happen.
Additional strengthening is possible regardless. You get into Cat 4 versus Cat 5, the impacts along the coast don't really change. Unsurvivable storm surge, and inland significant wind damage that's going to stretch all the way here into North Georgia. So I'll talk about that in coming up.
And right now winds are at 130 miles an hour. It would have to get up to 156 or higher for it to become a Cat 5, and we just think that it's starting to run out of time to do that. Here's the latest on the storm right now. You can see that center of circulation as it's moving northward, getting closer to that Big Bend region. We have on the right-hand side these bands coming into Florida. That's why we have tornado watches in effect there. Also into South Georgia, Southeast Georgia, and over into South Carolina. We have already seen numerous tornado warnings in some of those bands that have been causing rotation as it moves in over land. But even though the right-hand side has most of the impacts, still the left-hand side has some impacts there. We've got some heavy rain bands going back toward Panama City. Destin looking okay. 30A is looking all right as well, over from Panama City to 30A to Destin, over toward Perdido Key. The western half of the Panhandle's all right. They just have some wind and some rain and some clouds there. But really, most of this is going to stay over to the west of those areas. The line is going to come into our area. We are already have been dealing with rain thanks to a cold front that came in that stalled out over us. That's what gave us the rain yesterday and most of the day today. Now we have from Hurricane Helene, the motion around that is enhancing the flow of Gulf moisture moving in, and that's why we're seeing more of this rain out there right now, and at times it is heavy. Look at this, stretching from areas of Cherokee County up toward Pickens County into North Fulton, Central Fulton, down to the south, this really heavy rain. You'll also notice here within that these green polygons right here, that's where we have flash flood warnings that are in effect in those green polygons. And where you see those, that's where we have additional heavy rain coming in. So we're already seeing some areas, flood-prone areas, creeks and streams are rising in that flash flood. But look at this, another band is coming in right now on those same areas that have already had a lot of rain as that continues to move up toward the north and also to the east. There's the storm. You can see the flow around that here as it is getting closer to that landfall. I want to take you down to Spalding County right now. That is an area that is now included in a hurricane warning. Joe Ripley has been in that area for a while. He joins us now from one of our news vehicles to let us know what he's seeing. Joe, how's it looking there?
Hey there, good evening, Chris. We are driving right now on South Hill Street in Spalding County in the Griffin area. If you're familiar with this, there aren't a ton of lights out here. Let me turn the camera around so you can see what we are seeing here in the vehicle. We have seen a steady rainfall ever since we left Atlanta around 4 or 5 o'clock this evening, and the rain has been picking up in certain spurts, but right now it's pretty steady. A lot of the roads are seeing a steady stream of rain, and it's causing some of these flash flooding conditions, really dangerous conditions here on the roads. Thankfully, as far as accidents or whatnot, we have not seen a lot of those lately, but we did see a crew fixing a transformer not too long ago. They were working to restore power to one community who had lost it. Thankfully, those lights were turned back on within minutes. Crews are going to be scrambling all night long, especially as Helene makes its way onto the Florida coast and up through our state, of course, of Georgia. So a lot of breaths held here in Spalding County. Not too long ago, I just spoke with Steve Ledbetter, who's the county manager here in Spalding, and he's really placing an emphasis on people in their homes being hunkered down, seeking shelter, because they don't want to put their own crews at risk. This is a coordinated effort here between the sheriff's office, the fire department, public works, EMA, just to name a few. Of course, this is a county, Spalding County, that has experienced the worst when it comes to severe weather. You'll remember in January of 2023, tornadoes tore through Spalding County, this very tight-knit community, and really brought them all together. Well, the emergency operations folks have learned from this. They have rolled out a plan. They've invested millions of dollars in new technology, so they're now able to get real-time information at a faster rate of speed. This is helping to coordinate crews to areas where roads may be flooded, so they can go ahead and shut those roads down. They can coordinate crews' response to trees down, power lines down. That's going to be crucial, especially as we get into those early morning hours as Helene makes its way up into our area here in Spalding County. But again, a very steady rain here. We are checking in right now to see a potential flooded area, the Central Lake Circle area. So we will keep you posted. For now, we'll send things back to you and monitor things where we are in Spalding County.
All right, Joe, before you go there, you're with a photographer. I just want to make sure people know you are not driving that vehicle. You're there with the video journalist. Y'all are teamed up together.
No.
Please be careful. This is just the beginning. It is only going to get worse through the rest of the nighttime hours. So we'll be checking back with you a little bit later. Thanks, Joe.